The Parable of the Pious Man, a wisdom teaching from the Intergalactic Alliance of Light Beings, channeled for you by Canadian psychic medium and multidimensional channel, Tracey Milne. Once upon a time, there lived a very intelligent, pious, and morally righteous man. One day, it began to rain very hard, and as the minutes became hours, the man soon found himself trapped in a terrible storm. Within hours, the water began to flood the banks of the local rivers and streams, creating chaos and havoc for the people nearby. But the man paid no heed when warnings to evacuate came across his local radio and television stations, for he considered himself so faithful and pious that instead of leaving, he began to pray. "Dear God," he prayed, "please send down your hands to carry me to safety." Then he sat down and waited for God's hand to appear. Then, sometime in the middle of the night, the man was awakened by a voice outside his home. From his window, the pious man could see the outline of a boat and a man holding a lantern high above his head. "What do you want?" the pious man asked. "Well, it looks like you could use some help," the man in the boat responded. "No thanks," the pious man yelled out loud enough to be heard. "I believe in God, and I have asked him to swoop down his hand and carry me to safety. Go find someone who wants your help." Then he closed the window and went back to bed. But the next day came and went, with the pious man having to move to his upper floor just to stay dry. Again, he got down on his knees and he prayed to God. "Dear God," he prayed most earnestly, please come and swoop down with your hand and carry me to safety." Within an hour, a helicopter appeared in the skies above his home. A man on a thin rope was lowered down until he was hovering just outside the pious man's window. The pious man opened his window, calling out to the man on the wire. "You're wasting your time," he cried out, loud enough for his rescuer to hear. "For I have prayed and I believe in God. I have asked him to swoop down his hand and carry me to safety. So you see, I don't need your help." Then he closed the window, refusing to engage in further conversation. Within a few hours, the pious man had to move to his roof, the floodwaters now raging so fast they were carrying away cars and trees in their wake. As you can well imagine, the pious man was completely downhearted, for he felt forsaken by the God he had trusted so much. Again he prayed, "Dear God, please help me," he wailed above the raging storm. "Please swoop down and carry me to safety." Then and there, in the skies above him, materialized a magnificent galactic light ship. It floated down to just above the man's head and began a telepathic communication. "We have come in response to your plea for help. To assist you," the voice in the man's head said. "Simply step into our tractor beam and we will take you to safety." The man was terrified, for he didn't believe that God made aliens too. Making the sign of the cross with his fingers, he banished the light ship in the name of God, and not wanting to frighten him further, the light ship left his presence. The pious man was overtaken by the raging waters within an hour, and soon he found himself in his idea of heaven. He had died angry and broken-hearted and demanded some answers. None of his angelic counsel could soothe him, and so he was brought before his Creator to find answers. Just as righteous in spirit as he was in flesh, the pious man demanded to know why God had let him drown. Why, he had asked, when I did all that was asked of me, when I conducted a pure life and lived by the rules of the church, why, when I prayed to you every day, did you not help me when I needed you the most? Our Creator wrapped the angry man in a divine hug as he replied, "My son, I sent you a boat, a helicopter, and a UFO. You were the one who decided not to take the help that was offered." And the moral of this story is, prayers are powerful, and positive expectations attract positive results. But we should never try to dictate how God will deliver what it is we have asked for. For it's up to each of us to see the hand of God in all opportunities sent our way. Keep your mind open, keep your heart hopeful, and your intuition plugged in. Then take inspired action as needed. For then and only then can we reap the rewards, benefits, and endless bounty of support always being offered us by a Creator who adores us. Please know you are so beloved by we in the higher dimensions. Keep on shining your light, and remember to let love and light in wherever you find it. Your happiness and peace begins within. The end. We thank you for taking the time to hear this message. Until next time, shine on, Earth Star Angel. If you have enjoyed this video, check out more of our offerings, like and subscribe to stay posted on our latest channeled messages, or go to What Comes Next for You to sign up for your own personal galactic guidance session with Chimera. Until next time, this is Tracey Milne asking you, what's in your future?